Welcome back to another episode of the Burn Section. I'm Daniel. Joining me, as always, is Paddy. And today, we got one of Melbourne's biggest upcoming artists, Marbarrose. Marbar, how are you doing today, bro?
All is well. Highly blessed, highly favored.
And who else you got in the studio with us today?
We got Rico, we got Deng Jok, and we got Enforce. 1038.
So today's episode features, we've got some artists, some content creators, and brands. So we're going to talk about all that today. But first, we want to start with Marbar. Marbar, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you kind of got into music.
I'm from Pakenham. Pakenham is southeast from Melbourne. Grew up there my whole life, basically. And I started making music since a kid. I remember writing Florida lyrics on kitchen paper towel. And my brother, he got mad at me, you know? He tried to snitch my mom, but my mom let it slide. So ever since then, I've been making music, listening to artists, writing their lyrics, and just learning. I started making proper music, I say about age 15, 16. Started taking it proper serious. Me and my boys, B-Sav, Sosa, Trey, my cousin. And yeah.
So you'd say it was the people around you that influenced you to start making music?
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Do you have any other influences, like artists that you looked up to back then?
Sure. In Melbourne, it was more so like Gremlins, so K the Goat, GS Phantom, them boys. And then worldwide, it was of course 50 Cent, Flow Rider, and a whole lot of R&B artists too. And then as I got older, I started listening to more rap and more street stuff and how I was living. So a lot of UK music and a lot of Atlanta, Chicago, LA, and then yeah, that's how I began.
Which of those artists would you say has kind of influenced your sound the most?
The most, I say G Herbo, Lil Durk, ESTG, 42 Dog, Santan Dave, UK, J Hush, Clavish, Abracadabra, 81.
So although you got a range of artists you kind of look up to.
Oh yeah, Chef G, Sleep Holic, I'll get my boys Winter Circle.
Okay. So we know you don't have a lot of music out right now, but what's the plan? Tell us through the kind of mindset and ideas really coming up. You coming up with music this year?
Yeah, for sure that. So I plan to release my first ever single, like official single in July. It's gonna be called 100. And that song's just about struggle and like in the back of your mind, just wanting to get things right so you can take care of your family, your people, and then chase the life you want.
What's that going to be streaming on?
It's going to be on everything, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, and we're going to tap into other types of softwares and services.
Yeah, what's some things at the moment that are influencing you when you're making your music?
I'll say how I'm living and my life experiences, basically. So my music, I just talk about me and my community, my people. So 1038, that's Pakenham. I like to tell their stories. You know? People look at me as like a leader, so I feel like I have a responsibility to be the voice for them. So in my music, you might hear stories about the homies, homegirls, cousins, aunties, uncles, you know, parents, brothers, sisters, everyone.
1038 is something we'll definitely come back to later in the episode, but let's keep talking about the music right now. Have you had any live performances yet?
Yes, sir. My first ever live performance was at an event in Warren.
Okay.
It was like a freestyle, you know? And that event, I knew I was there for. I came there for business, you know? Came there to network and meet people.
How did that go for you?
It was amazing. It was good. I got some good photos too. Shout out to Photography. And then, yeah, it was good. I met a lot of artists, networked, and then put my name out there and got my name buzzing.
As an artist, being on the stage for a first time in front of a crowd, how are you feeling with the nerves there? How, like, before the show, how are you feeling?
Nah, for sure, the nerves were there, you know? But as I got onto it, I'm like, fuck it. This is what I love. Let me do that, you know?
Who was that with? Was that with YTS?
Nah, that's my second performance. But the first one was with, for Jump In, Rhythm. It was their event. So at the end of it was a show. At the end of the event, they said, any artist want to come on stage and spit bars, freestyle? I put my hand up straight away and went there.
So did that first performance kind of help set up the next one? Because YTS is a pretty established artist, you know. So how did that kind of come about?
That was through Big Pat. That's one of the big homies, you know, my big brother. So I grew up with him, and then ever since I started rapping, he's sending my songs, you know. And my brother was locked up at the time, so you know, he used to tell me, hey, just keep rapping, keep doing this. He give me guidance and that. And then I had a meeting for 1038 the day before the YTS show. And then he told me, you come to the show tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'll be there in the crowd. He's like, you want to perform? I'm like, shit, I don't know, it's kind of too late. He's like, nah, I got you. I figure a way out.
You ended up doing it anyway.
Yeah. So he spoke to YTS, and then YTS put me on, just like that. Just off the strength of love.
Let's also talk about the song that you do have out, which you're really well known for, like Chase Respect. Can you tell us a bit about when you released that and like all the love that you've gotten off that?
Yeah, so I released that initially November last year. But then I privatized it. I'm like, I don't want it to be out just yet. And then the year began. I'm like, fuck it, you gotta start somewhere, you know. So I just let it be out, and then I started advertising it, put it out, and then my community, they really built me. They pushed it out, and everyone started fucking with it, and then it's mad love feedback. But that song originally was recorded in 2021, 2020. You know, I was I was just going through, and I just wrote that song. It's
Would you say your community is like really inspiring you to make it in this music game?
100%.
Everyone's behind you.
Yeah, because like they see the potential in me and they're pushing me to my maximum. They don't want to see me fail, and they see me as like a way out to. I could open doors for them, and that's the way I see it too. So I'm like, fuck it.
I saw that, and the reason I asked that question is because I saw one of Deng's videos, actually the basketball one, and they were bumping Chase Respect in the back, and you had like at least 30 guys there, and that was crazy to see, like everyone's kind of getting around each other. And that's something that brings me to my next talking point, which was our last artist. They kind of mentioned that, the community and Australian as listeners to our own music that we're producing it's not quite there compared to, say, the Asian market or whether the UK or US market. So do you feel like, well, you mentioned your community is obviously backing you, which is amazing, but in a general kind of as the hip hop population here, do you think we need to kind of, support our artists more?
Oh, 100%, most definitely. See, the thing is with music in Australia, it's always been around, but us Africans, when it came to Australia the last 20, 30 years, so we're just establishing ourselves. But compared to like the Polynesians and white folks, European, they only came in like they've been here for like 60, 30, 40 years. So they had like time to establish themselves. So they have businesses, they have schools, they have everything set up. We're just getting started. So I feel like over the next 5, 10, 20 years, you'll see more Africans taking over the industry and taking over the music game.
And just talk to us a bit about the brand that you have going on right now and who you're working with.
Yeah, so this is a 1038 brand. Right now we're working with Atala. He's a good friend of my brother's ma. He's got his brand's already established, but he's helping us.
And where can we get the hoodies and t-shirts from?
Yeah, it's in the process now, man. Yeah, we're just finalizing a few things and then sorting out the website together, like all business aspects.
The t-shirts are fire, but I want to talk about a little bit the bigger picture behind 1038. So how did that kind of start? How did it come about, and what are the next moves for 1038?
It actually came about with Ma. Like originally came about from Ma. Then we sort of had the same idea because my homeboys and his homeboys we always talk about like a clothing brand, like music, entertainment, all this stuff. And then he brought the idea to me, and then I added on top of it, and then it just birthed the idea.
So 1038, you guys are involving a lot of parts of the community. Like I mentioned before, whether it be music or branding or content creation. And speaking of that, we've got Deng Jock here as well. Deng, what's your kind of part in 1038, and what are you trying to do?
My part in 1038 is content creation. Me and my boy Enfos, we started our first video. It was we went to the beach. And it was a boxing match. Yeah, we bought a few boxing gloves, and we just did a last to get knocked out. Because we got heavily inspired by King Sid. If you guys have seen him, he does like last to get knocked out videos, and that really inspired me. And then I went and did my own one for $150. That was the cash prize, and that was my first proper YouTube video.
Hey, go check them out.
What kind of videos are working the best for you, would you say?
Right now,
public interviews.
Yeah, the public interviews we're doing on Instagram Reels,
If you were in a room with your celebrity crush, what would you do?
Okay, yeah.
Like, who is your celebrity crush?
Who is it?
They are.
Hey.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, we just take the piss out of them. We just troll them. So yeah, that's been doing really well on Instagram Reels.
I see now, like on that point, the media industry, which is what I'm in as well, is really growing. It's really growing. Like you see, like we're talking about TikTok and all that. It's like a necessity now, social media. So you need to have that presence, and especially we're all pretty young here. It's good that you boys are starting that as well.
Yeah, 100%. You gotta have that side. You gotta be good at the content creating.
Yeah. So one idea we have here for Burn Section is our December special is gonna be probably a cypher with everyone that's come on the show. I'll ask you now, Ma, would you be down to be a part of that?
Shit, I gotta get some training. I don't freestyle, but I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I like challenge. I like to learn. I like to fail, so I can learn from my mistakes. So let's do it.
How do you feel about giving us a quick 16 right now for the show?
Shit, send them on. I've been ready.
We're down to run it?
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Shit. Shout out Burn Section. I got Paddy with me. Shit. I got Daniel with me. Shout out Muzzy though. Look. Hit different. Look, I gave this game my all, wanted bucket, take it back. Ain't had no money in our pockets, so we pushing back. I told bro, the money is yours, you gon' get a wreck. Old money in like Nipsey Hustle, we gon' always stack. Open arms, the streets gave him a hug. All he needed was a goddess, they ain't showing no love. Mama working trying to get us above, but who gon' take care of the kids? Plus full like a dove. And he ain't had no father figure, looking up the spotter niggas. Back these brothers beef up in these streets, we grab the hardest triggers. Now he a target with it, back in PZ Harbors with it. Only feel safe up in the 10, you know it's hard to get it. This the life that we live. I'm looking up to God like something's gotta give. I accept my faith, handle biz. No rain, no flowers, but it is what it is. Painting pictures, they can't see it, but they swear they listen. Telling stories, preaching man, feel it is my mission. Wanna see my brothers eat with the diamonds glisten. You put in work, I got the sauce, put you in position. To 38. We out here.
That's
we're
hard.
just dreaming big. Yeah,
that's
dreaming
hard.
big. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I feel like we can do it, man. We just put in the work. Like if
100%.
everyone.
Well, you guys already got the backing and the community. That's like the hardest thing, especially starting this burn section. It's like we want to get people behind us. You know, we saw kind of a gap in the market, if you like, where we have all these talented artists and almost no voice for them. Where it's like, okay, I'll produce a song. Oh, that came out cool. What's next? What's next, Marba? What's next? But it's like, nah, let's let that sink in, and kind of let people appreciate and support it. So it's like I don't really see anyone kind of coming in and being like, hey, support this guy. Hey, here's this new guy. Here's this new guy from Pakenham. Come support him. So that's where we kind of got our inspiration from starting Burn Section as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. When you guys started the same month?
Yeah, about
month?
February.
Yeah, it was about Feb. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to bring light to all these artists because we just feel like the Melbourne music's super underappreciated.
100%.
Even around the world, like people should be bumping this like all around the world, not just in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right.
But the fact that people in Melbourne don't even know that there's all these artists.
Oh, the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
like, bro, I've just been bumping Melbourne and stuff. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah. Even you saw YG drop the track at Burn City Studios.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
tough.
yeah, I see. Yeah. It's tough,
Him,
man.
Fabulous put up the.
Yeah.
Blessings doing their thing. Shout out them boys.
By
Shout out
Daniel.
Yeah, for sure.
Daniel, they doing their thing. Where do you guys see yourself in 5-10 years?
Obviously, like, we started this to expose Melbourne's artists, but in the long-term goal, it's similar to what Moses was saying about 1038, because when he was talking, I was like, oh, that sounds a bit like my ideas for Burn Section as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, Paddy's really into the clothing and the fashion, so that's something we're thinking about. Obviously, it's still early days, but that's something we want to include.
Dream big, man. Dream big.
If it happens, maybe a label, but pretty much, you know, become Melbourne's voice for Melbourne's music is what I'd want to see in like that 5-10 years. And, you know, we go out to like a show or something like that. It's like, oh, Burn Section's got to be to cover that show, you know, where it's mine in 5 years, or whoever it may be on the stage in 5 years. It's like, oh, it's got to be a necessity. Like, oh, Burn Section's going to promote this, you know.
Yeah.
We were thinking too. I mean, when bigger artists come, because we go see quite a few live shows. When these bigger artists come, that we can promote. You know, we can promote ourselves, which promotes on behalf of all the Melbourne artists.
100%.
And then we can, I don't know, maybe some mixed collaboration, something like that.
Yeah.
Also, bringing Melbourne artists together. Because obviously this is episode 3, but we're speaking with some of our previous guests and introducing them to other artists in Melbourne that they weren't familiar with. So it's like, it'd be bringing artists together, and what I'd love to see is like someone collabs with someone and it takes off, and it's like, oh, Burn Section brought that together.
Yeah.
So that would be like another dream of mine, or something that I want to see happen in the future.
You guys got that for sure, bro. You guys put in the work, and you're hustling. You got passion.
You got to put in the work, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
There's two things: passion and work ethic. You guys got that. So I see you guys taking off with it. You know this history. It's like our first ever interview.
First interview?
Yeah.
So like, say we blow up, we will. They're gonna come back to this interview and then they're gonna be like, oh, these guys put us on.
Yeah.
So that for you guys doing this for us, we got your back forever type of thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
love it. That's the whole point of it, man. Melbourne helping Melbourne. That's really the whole goal of this. So happy to help, and more collabs in the future, I'm hoping, man.
That's
Yeah,
love.
100%, man.
Who you guys want next on the podcast? Because we got a couple people we want to put out for.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you thinking about?
I'm thinking of a couple artists from 1038 and then my boys from MBE.
Yeah.
So we got G6, we got Leaky, we got Driller,
Yeah.
you know? We got B-Sav, we got Double G. And then my boys 1038, C-Rose, Sosa, Lil Ads, them boys, they're tough. They're my
Yeah,
boys.
You've got a lot of artists
Right,
there,
you-
man.
yeah,
That's a
man.
whole label there. The label's also
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
You'd love them, man. You'd love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty
Nah, but
good.
for sure, we'll make that happen. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
we got a
100%.
little list, but now we got like a new kind of
Vibe. Yeah, we're the next gen.
new generation.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
kind of leading the way, and
100.
obviously in yourself would be like one of those top guys up there. So
For sure.
what is the what's the next steps for Marbarrose, man?
Shit. I want to, after July, I want to release every single month. collab with a lot of different people and just get myself out there, keep networking, keep being in these streets, in the field. Actually, I see a lot of artists. They put up their work on social media and they think that's all. That's the end game.
It's more to that.
But there's way more to that. I got my boys Samir and Bass. I see them working, putting in the work. Samir's out here working. He's the one. You should get him on here next.
Yeah.
But they inspire me to go harder too, because they're out here networking, putting in work, interview, content creation, all that. That's part of the game. It's part of the hustle. A lot of artists, that's why they lack. They might have the amazing talent, but they don't have work ethic.
Yeah.
You need to find that mix, that kind of sweet spot, to find success.
Yeah, and also the people surrounding you, man. Like the brand, the 1038 Collective, we want to have like a good, strong support system. We're gonna like uplift each other when we're at our lowest. We don't feel like we're motivated. Like we've got each other just to come up. Like
it's family.
Yeah, it's family, man. Yeah. Hold each other accountable. Yeah, that's one. Like that's up there, man.
One more thing with Australian music in general, I feel like we gotta stop not even stop, just gotta like focus on ourselves, support each other more, type of thing, and venture off to different markets instead of, because normally we go for UK, US. I feel like we should go Asia, Africa, Arabia, those areas, that's where we're from, real shit. That's where we're from.
The
roots. So we should tap in with our roots more and get that support instead of chasing the big three, the Sonys, Universal, them boys.
Because it's like obviously US is kind of leading the way, but it's like the goal shouldn't be make it in Australia and then get out of here and go collab in the US. It should be let's see who else is popping in Melbourne or Australia wide, and let's link up with them, and then
also make it easier to blow up in Australia, man. So we don't need to get out of it.
Make Melbourne the New York. Make Melbourne the ATL, the Miami, and hopefully I want to be like a big smalls for Melbourne. I want Marbarrose and 1038 to be a household name.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like we don't really have any household names, so
we don't, man.
It's time for one, man. It's time.
Yeah.
We got that for sure. I believe that,
Yeah.
Anyway, man, I think that's gonna do it for today's episode of Burn Section. Marbar and 1038. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate you boys, and we hope you enjoyed coming on the show as well.
100%. That's love. We appreciate you guys, And we'll be back here soon. For sure.
Yeah, we'll be back, man.
100%.
We'll see what the future holds for 1038. But we're gonna end the episode like we do every time with a track from the artist. We know he's debuting in July soon, but he does have one track like we mentioned before. This is Chase Respect by Marbarrose.
Hey, shout out to you, man. Look. Chase respect from who? Man, I'm my own man. Pops left the house when I was a kid, became a grown man. So by the age of 13, I'm doing my own thing. Could've sold drugs, but instead I chose the ball game. Now I'm 17, moving on to bigger things. Tired of the struggle, so I hustle like I need a ring. Oh, just see me on the block, say they respect the kid. I'm still double S, man, I can stretch me doing hella things. Set up and meet with the plug, now I'm moving the duck. Became a middleman, but sorry, nip it, what it was. See, I was speaking the cuz, say forever.